I made it. Oh, I was almost late. I was cutting it close today. That's all right though. I feel like my face feels textured. I don't know if that's right. Hey, Healing Higher. Um, I think that we can have. Hey, Kayla, you coming in tapping. I appreciate that. How are y'all doing today? Happy Thursday. I almost said Friday. Look at me skipping ahead. Yes, I was on time. What's so funny is I was literally like pressing it at 12 o'clock. I was like, because I started pressing the button at 11:59 and then it changed. And I was like, not today. Not today. Friday Junior. Facts. Facts. Except like it has like, the only benefit is that it's almost Friday. Everything else is definitely giving is Thursday. How are y'all doing? You want to know something that's so funny that I'm realizing is that I think that I might keep like this whole 12 o'clock time frame thing, because it is it's, well, for one, it's forcing me to get my stuff together a little bit earlier, but it's not so early that like I'm scrambling to figure out my life. And it's been feeling good to have like an actual rhythm. So yeah, this might just be it. This might just be it. Hey, AZ. Hey, Mask. This might just be the one. I might just keep it here, because it's been helpful to like have something stable every day that I know is happening regardless. Good morning. Oh, are you Central Time? That's why I'm looking. I was like, it literally just turned noon for me. Hey, Damali. So, y'all, I'm gonna be, for one, can y'all make sure, like, let me know that my signal is okay, because it's telling me that it's nobody in the room, and so sometimes when it does that, it means that like my signal's tripping. So just like let me know that I'm good. It's clear. Okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah, you're Central. I forgot where you said you were. If you did say. It's like 500 people in here. Well, that's good to know. I can't see nothing. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's for the best. But sometimes it'll like psych me out if it feels like I'm not talking to anybody. Oh, snap. You're in Tennessee? You're in Tennessee? Where? Are you in Nashville? Hey, Big Red. Wait a minute. Are you in Nashville? You're close to Nashville? What? That is good to know. I feel like she looked Memphis-y. Clarksville. I'm not familiar with Tennessee all the way. And by familiar, like by all the way, I mean like I'm really not. But I am going to be there this weekend. I am going to be there. I've been there a couple, literally like twice. I think I may have been there 3 times. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll be in Nashville. It's like a hair that's like on my lip, y'all. It's bothering me. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, girl, I'll miss all the rain. I hope I do, cause I'm over it. I've been wanting to go live outside, and I had to check the forecast today to make sure that it wasn't gonna rain while I was out here. Cause I mean, there's a canopy, so it's not like I would get rained on. But when I'm done, I gotta clean everything up, and it's raining. That's gonna be a hot mess. What's okay? You're gonna have to tell me what to check out there, cause I don't know. I don't know. I'll put that down though. Oh, okay, now it's showing me there's people in here now. Thank y'all. Thank you for tapping the screen too. Let's see. What is it? Sweet 12:25. Yeah, you'll have to let me know what I should do, because I was telling some people last weekend that I was gonna be up there, and they told me that there was a creator that is like a travel influencer, and she had did like a couple of things in Nashville, and she had made it look like it was like real fun. But I haven't looked at her stuff, so I still really don't know. I still really don't know what to do out there. But yeah, like if you have any other suggestions, like let me know. The African American. Oh yes, that was the other thing that she told me. Yes, she told me about that museum. Okay, okay, I'm gonna put that down. I feel like I saw a TikTok about that before. Mm. Yeah, I'm putting this down. That'll be cool. They always go to Broadway. Put your walking shoes on. Oh, okay. So now my cowgirl boots. They're not walking shoes at all. But I just really feel like I want to wear them. My walking shoe, I don't really have like good walking shoes, y'all. I don't know what's wrong with me and shoes. I feel like I might need to see like a podiatrist or something, because all shoes bother my feet in some way. Like I have some that are more comfortable than others, but just like general rule of thumb, my feet gonna hurt. It's a lot of people. Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. I'm used to a lot of people, so I'm okay with that. I don't mind that. I used to live in New York. We lived there for like 7 years. So I feel like if I can deal with people in New York, I'll be all right anywhere. Broadway. Is that a Pisces thing, Tashi? Cause like literally my feet always hurt. Like it does not matter. My feet always hurt. Always. But if I ever tell y'all, like if I ever tell y'all that like a shoe is comfortable, I'm not lying to you about it. Like the shoe is comfortable, but just in general, I can't wear any shoes for too long. Like my preference, honestly, is just to not wear shoes. Like I love not wearing shoes. I love like not having anything on my feet. I just like having my feet free. So that's, yeah, I can't. You were just in the Bronx. What you was doing out there? Is it really? Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. Cause like, even now, like I got on my house shoes, but I'm about to take them off so that I can not have my feet obstructed. I just don't be feeling like it. And then like I don't have big feet, but my feet are wide. And so I almost like try to put my foot in the camera. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. They look all right, but still like that's just too much. That's too much. But my feet are wide, but they're small. So it don't be, it would be weird. Shoes be weird. Like I wear an 8, but I don't really wear an 8. You know, it's weird. It's weird. So yeah. You too, Kayla? Okay, now you understand. Like for like legit, when I would go, cause my mom is plus size. Like that's, yeah, I think she's still plus size. She's been losing a lot of weight lately, but she's plus size. And so when we go shopping together, we would hit up stores like Torrid. And when I would go into Torrid, between the shoes and the jewelry, like the jewelry was actually good for me. Even though like I'm not plus size, like the shoes and the jewelry, because the way that they cut the shoes and the way they cut the jewelry, they're thinking wider. And so I would like to go in there and look at the jewelry and the accessories and stuff, because literally like it's a very weird situation. This is why you be wearing the same shoes. Yeah, no, I got my shoes that are riders, and then like that's it. People have to pay for foot action. They do. That's a different live. I hope people didn't come in here when I said that trying to figure out what I was talking about. I'm not showing nobody no feet. Not on TikTok. Oh, well, I'm glad y'all are doing good. You went to visit one of your homegirls? Oh, okay. Was it fun? I have a good friend that's out in the Bronx. A really good friend, actually. She's the person who used to do all of my photography. Like, she took all my pictures, and when I lived out there, and she's in the Bronx. I have another good friend that used to live in the Bronx. She doesn't live there no more. But hey, Kuma, how's that video doing? Okay, I gotta drink a little bit of water, y'all. Okay, when I'm in the Bronx, I don't spend too much time in the Bronx. Like, even when I stayed with my friend when I was out there, and I only stayed with her because the wedding I was going to was in the Bronx. But if I'm in the Bronx, I'm out the Bronx. Like, I cannot stay. I can't stay out there. It's still going. Is it getting worse? You have a good friend that owes you a shot of Ciroc? Man, that's wild. I wonder who that friend is. Usually hanging out on Webster. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't spend too much time out there when I'm there. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. You gonna get it out of her soon? I feel sorry for that friend. Sorry to that friend. Ciroc is the worst. The worst. I'm convinced it's the reason why I have not really drank since the last time I had it. I got scared straight. I'm usually in the Bronx or Harlem when I go up. Okay, yeah, no, I love Harlem. I love Washington Heights. I love Brooklyn. I would say I love like 90% of Brooklyn. 90%. There's some parts where it's like, ain't doing it. Okay, y'all. Are y'all ready? Y'all ready? So, I'm trying to make sure I do a recap. I'm trying to do a recap. So I wanted to check in with everybody. Usually, like, it helps me to start talking so that my personality comes out. Because it's been like, I've been tired all week. Thanks for the follow, Annette. It's going to be 2, not 6 or 7 like the last time. Okay. Hey, Afro Latina Barbie. How you doing, girl? Okay, y'all. So, if I'm giving this disclaimer now just in case, because I know some people like to play. All right. I'm about to start teaching soon. That's good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. So I'm about to do a recap real fast. Okay. It was good to see you, Carl. Okay, so I'm gonna do a recap so that y'all know what was going on. So this week, thank you for the compliment on the earrings. So I've been going through Getting Unshy, which is my personal branding framework that I developed to help people to build their personal brands, to stop being behind the scenes, to stop downplaying who they are, what they can do, what they're capable of, and really step out and show people who they are, attract their dream community. All of those good things come from Getting Unshy, right? And so I've been going through all of the steps. There's 5 steps, and I've been using the Getting Unshy workbook as a reference to go through all of the things that you need to know to either rebrand, to really develop your personal brand, and even just to build your confidence, because really having a brand, knowing what your brand is all about confidence. It's all about knowing what you can do, knowing what you want to accomplish, and then using it to your advantage, whether that's on social media or whether that's in person, right? And so we've been going through all of the different things. We've gone through the heart and the mind. And in the heart and the mind, we really focused on, hey, Ashane, we really focused on the aspect of forgiveness. I leaned really heavy into forgiveness, because forgiveness leads to self-trust. Self-trust leads to confidence, and confidence leads to building your personal brand. Y'all, like that whole sequence is really resonating. I love that all came out during the live. But that's why the forgiveness piece is important, because if you're struggling to forgive, especially when you're struggling to forgive yourself, you're going to have a hard time being confident. I don't know how you're going to be able to be confident without being able to forgive, honestly. And so we went through all of that. And then we talked about a little bit about identity, which is the next step into building your personal brand, which again goes to being able to forgive yourself so that you can dream, you can envision the things that you want, being able to see, oh, this is what I actually want to do, and then taking the steps to go for it. The third thing that we talked about yesterday, which was a really good session. Hey, John. It was a really good session, y'all, yesterday. We talked about selling without being a sellout. And so we talked all about the monetization side of things. We talked about your customer journey, or your client journey, the journey that your people are going on, all right, like your community. We talked about how you can take a gifted collaboration and transform that into a paid brand deal. When do you do that? What does that look like? What do you need to have together to pitch yourself? We talked about turning your growing your subscribers and what kinds of things that you can do to maximize that and to grow it, and what that looks like to be strategic with your goals, setting those goals. And then we also really leaned into some of the things that we do that keeps us from accepting people's money, like the stuff that we do that makes it hard for people to give us their money, because sometimes we're the reason why. We're the problem. We're the reason. Yeah, so that's a good question, John. So I have been, I've downloaded the sessions from day 1 and 2. So I'm going to be uploading those. I'm going to work on that today. I want to trim them down just a little bit because they are kind of long, but I'll have the replays available on a private channel. So if you want to get access to that channel, you can join our free Telegram. Okay, it's free. You can go in there. You can get access to all the replays on this information. But I'll put the link to that in our Telegram community. So I didn't forget. I've been kind of putting together some different things just so that I can make it more organized in there and that everybody knows what's going on. But that's going to be coming up. So after today, I'll also be taking the replay from this one, and all of that stuff will be in our channel. So if you want to get into the Telegram, you can go to my bio, click the link. You do have to download Telegram to be a part of it. But once you get in there, you're going to be welcomed with open arms. So that's where you can go to get all the replays of this. There is a webinar that I did, just like a disclaimer. I did a webinar on this topic. It's about an hour long. But I will be real with y'all. Like, that webinar doesn't even like really go into all the details that I've been going into the past couple of days. So I'll put the replay of that up, and that'll be open to everybody. But the real good tea is going to be in Telegram on that private channel. So if you need that space, if you need to be around other creative entrepreneurs, you need those resources, you want to get access just to that, if that's the only reason why you want to join Telegram right now, all of that's going to be worth it when you get in there. So yeah, that's what we've been going through. So are y'all ready to talk about today's topic? Because we're going to be talking about your origin story. We're going to be leaning into storytelling. And then we're also going to be talking about collaboration. And this is the part where I'm not going to say it's my favorite, because all of them are my favorites for different reasons. But like, the whole idea of storytelling is the part that I think that makes me the most excited. And I feel like when people know how to tell their story, they feel more confident too. Like, there's so much power in telling your story. And you hear people say this all the time. Tell your story. Your story is not just for yourself. Open your mouth, use your voice, and like, all of those things are great. But there are times where you really don't feel confident in storytelling, right? Like, it may not be something that comes naturally to you, or at least in the way that you feel like can help you grow your brand, right? Maybe you feel like You don't know what parts are relevant. You don't know what parts to tell. You don't know what parts are interesting enough to share with people. Or maybe, and y'all let me know which one of these sounds like you. Maybe you're a person who you feel like your story is not interesting enough. Hey, Palm. You feel like your story is not interesting enough. You feel like there's not enough drama in it. You feel like there's not as much it's not like this whole rags to riches story. Or maybe, possibly, you still feel like you're in a place where you're still in your story. How can I tell my story when it's still happening? How can I tell my story when it feels like I'm still here? I'm still in this place. What do I tell people, right? Like, those are all different things that you might be feeling when it comes to telling your story. And so there's a framework, there's a whole set of questions that we're going to go through. And I'm going to go through them. I'm going to try to go through them like kind of quickly. What I want to do is actually show y'all what it looks like to do it in real time, so that it can help you to think about what stories you can be telling. Okay. But we're going to go through, there's literally like a framework. There's questions that you can ask that help you to tell your story, which is called your origin story. Okay. I'm seeing the comments. Jada, start reading me today. That's me still feeling like I need more time before I have anything of value to share. Good. Okay. My story is boring. No drama. I got you. Okay. Okay. This is all good to know. And it's good to know that I'm touching on some of the concerns that you have. All right. So we're going to get into it. So let's start off, and I'm going to tell y'all what the origin story is and why it's so important, and also how anybody can use it. Okay. So the origin story is like something that you've seen time and time again. When it comes to like superheroes, you've seen their origin story. You've seen this talked about when people give their biographies or their autobiographies. You've seen this when you're being introduced to a new speaker at a conference or a retreat or on a podcast, right? The origin story is telling the story of why you do what you do. Okay? Why you do what you do. This is like, and I'm repeating that because this is very important to understand. So the thing that's great about the origin story is that literally, if you have lived any length of life, you have an origin story. You have a reason why you do what you do. You have something of value to share to people, regardless of what level you are currently at. And the thing that I also want to point out from this before I start getting into the details of it is that even though your story may be boring, right? It doesn't have a whole lot of drama in it. It doesn't have a whole lot of, like pizzazz or like these really dramatic things happening. The thing that makes your origin story powerful is that it's relevant. It's relatable. Okay? It's not about being the most exciting person. It's not about having the most things to do. We're not writing an action movie. Okay. We're not trying to write Fast and Furious 37. We are just telling a story that is relevant to the people that we want to serve and help. Okay. So it does not need to have all the twists and turns and ups and downs that you think that it does in order for it to have an impact. What's most important is that it's relatable. And that is something that the people that you are speaking to need to hear. All right. Yeah. People love drama, but we're not here. We're not writing a series. We're sharing what we need to in order to grow our brand and connect with the right people. All right. So yeah. And I love that you said that it helps them escape, because our goal, we're not trying to help people escape. We're trying to offer a solution. So there's something that that I was listening to a friend of mine say yesterday. Actually, the same friend that I was telling y'all the story about on Tuesday, about her getting back on track with her brand. And so she was saying that the things that she says in her videos, she triggers people on purpose. And she triggers people on purpose because she wants people to be able to recognize the trigger and hopefully be willing to confront it, because her bringing it up is because she wants to be able to help you with it, right? And so there is if I'm being honest with y'all, I say stuff that I know is going to trigger people. Like I don't know if y'all know if y'all have ever like picked up on that, or like if you ever recognize that, but there are some things that I say that I know is going to be a problem to somebody. I know it's going to, like, it might rub people the wrong way. I know that it might be like a sore point. And I think the way that I approach it, it may not seem like I'm like picking out something, but I notice things about myself, and I notice things about other people that I feel like is relevant. So like, for instance, yeah, I just thought you were that good because it'd be natural. I think that I feel like for a lot of us, it is natural. Okay. And before I'm going to get to the origin story, I promise. But I feel like this is like a really important thing to like talk about. So raise your hand if you feel like you're the person who picks up on certain things that people aren't willing to talk about. Or like if you feel like you're the kind of person who notices things that it feels like nobody else is really like discussing or talking about or saying. Like there's just like it feels like you're almost kind of like looking at things a little bit differently than everybody else. Like, does anybody else feel like that? Okay. Yeah. Those are the things that I be saying. Those are the things that I be saying, because there are some times where I'll sit back and I'll look at things and I'll be like, huh, there's something there. That's interesting. And the only difference between me and other people is that there are things I'm willing to say something about it. Yeah, that really be the biggest difference. I'm willing to say something about it. You find trends and other things before it's popular. Yeah. And the thing that's so interesting, y'all, for real, is that I feel like there's a lot of us that are like, we notice these things, but more often than not, we don't talk about it. Like, we don't say nothing about the stuff that we notice. And let me ask y'all this, because I have my theories. But why do you think that you don't speak on the things that you notice? I know Palm said that she doesn't know how to say it with grace. What are some other reasons why you don't speak on those things? I don't, because when I read you, it's so deep and it short circuits them. Okay. Is it such a bad thing for somebody to short circuit though? To avoid conflict and drama, not in tussle mode, because I'm big working. So are there ever times where there's something that you notice or recognize that you felt a conviction to talk about and you didn't talk about it? Because I don't think that it's necessary to speak on everything that you see. But I do feel like there are things that we know, that we notice, that we feel a conviction to talk about, and we still don't. It may not be of popular opinion or the politically correct. Okay, what's wrong with it not being popular opinion? Yes, and I shared with someone who likes to eat my brain cells and then post it as their content. Okay. If I feel compelled to say something, it'll probably be privately and probably in writing. Okay. If I feel strong about it, I speak on amongst people that can have real conversations. Okay. Everyone may not agree with my thoughts. Okay. And now I'm getting jumped. Okay. What are y'all noticing about like some of these responses? Or do y'all want me to say it? It's based on others' opinions. That's a good observation, Tanya. We paved the way and we haven't been. Ashanae's giving me the eyes. Okay, y'all. So let me be straight up with you. Okay? Be straight up. It blocked like 3 of my comments, so that last one was out of context. Oh, okay. I don't believe every thought requires a public conversation. I sure am, Mo. But what about the ones that do, that we don't speak on? I think that there are things that, although it might be disruptive, and although it might not make you the most popular person, we have strong convictions to talk about it for a reason. And I know a lot of us don't like to be controversial. We don't like to be disruptive. We don't want people tussling with us in the comments section. We don't want anybody coming for us. And that's all fine and good. But really building something where you are paving the way, like Palm mentioned, where you are a leader in some regard, where you are looking to be real and be authentic, and also where you know that you speaking up and saying something is because somebody needs to hear it. And we sit on things that we know that we should be talking about because of those reasons. There are so many things that I know it is just not my place to get into, right? Like, it really is not my place to talk about everything. But there are things that I know that when I say it, it's not going to be popular. People are not going to like it. There's going to be people that are going to disagree with it, but it's necessary for me to say it. Yeah. So do y'all feel like, and be honest with me, I'm gonna ask this last question and then I'm gonna get into, hey friend, I'm gonna get into the origin story. I'm gonna get into it, y'all, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I need to sit here for a second. I'm getting that itch. I'm getting that feeling. So, be honest with me, okay? And this is not something, you don't have to go into detail with it, but I want y'all to be real with yourself and I want y'all to be real with me in this moment. Are there things that you have felt like you needed to speak on and say that you did not, because of the way that you felt it would be received, because of the way that people will respond to it, because you didn't feel like it would be popular? Are there things that you have sat on? I see always, all of the above. And when y'all have those feelings, when you have those things that you feel that it's necessary for you to speak on it, have you ever how have you handled No, better question. Have you ever felt that way and didn't act immediately, but then you went back and spoke about it? And I'm not talking about everything, y'all. I really want y'all to hear me on this. I'm not talking about everything. I'm talking about the things that you know you're supposed to talk about. You know you're supposed to say something publicly. Publicly. This is something that you should be sharing publicly. Because I feel like it gets conflated sometimes. I usually wait to see if someone else talk about it. I will tap out, journal it out, or talk with value-minded people. That's great. What about putting it out to the people who may not agree with it though? I'm gonna tell y'all, okay, there's been a couple of times where like there are things that I've had to talk about that like I really didn't want to talk about it. And like I especially didn't want to talk about it on social media because I know how like uncouth people can be sometimes and how the conversation it doesn't always feel productive, but it was necessary for me to share it because somebody needed to hear it. Like, even if the overwhelming majority, it felt like people didn't want to hear what I had to say, it has been like the couple of times where it really put me in the right people's faces. No, I don't. Okay. All right. So there's been 2 times. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me push back on that a little bit, Tashi. So there's been a few times, and y'all have been here for some of them. Most of y'all have been here for all of them. And there's been a couple of times where I went live talking about stuff and y'all told me that I should stop. Like, not literally like Jada, like you should stop, but like y'all kind of said stuff where it was like, this doesn't seem like it's going in a good direction. And I told y'all that, no, I got to talk about this. Like, I have to. And there's this feeling that I get that if like, it's almost like this, like, I'm trying to describe this sensation. It's almost like this, like, burning feeling that I feel when I know I got to talk about something. Like, I know I got to talk about it. I know I got to say it. And that's usually how I can tell the difference between something that just kind of like intrigues me, or maybe just like it kind of irritates me, but I don't have to participate in the discourse, versus things that I know I got to share my perspective on. Like, I got to say something about it. And so the first time that I did it, and it was like, the first time it was like legit by accident, y'all. But it was this video where I was telling people, hey, J Jam, I was telling people that if your style hasn't evolved since you were in high school, then there's something going on. And when I made that video, I wasn't like anticipating for it to be like a big deal. I really just like felt like it was something that I was supposed to share, and so I did. And it ended up being like probably one of the worst experiences I've ever had online, like ever, like legit. Like, it was like so terrible. There was a lot of people who ended up feeling like they could get where I was coming from, but then there was like, it felt like it was even more people who were like, what are you talking about? Why would you come for me like that? Who are you to say, like, legit? And like, there's people that was like legit, like coming for my intelligence, which, if y'all don't know, like, is a big trigger for me. Like, it's such a big trigger for me. Like, if you start to make me feel like you think I'm not smart, or like you start to question my intelligence, like, it sets me off. And so I'm sitting here and I'm reading all of these comments, and it was like, at this, I think that video maybe got like, I think it got like somewhere around like thousands of comments, like over 1,000 comments. And so I was looking at them, and I was reading what some of these people were saying, and it felt so frustrating, because this was one of the first times where it seemed like people were either didn't get what I was saying, or they really were trying to make me feel bad because what I said triggered them. Right? And so the thing for me is that, like, I said what I said. I didn't take it back. I didn't like pull back on it. I said what I said. I felt how I felt about it. And honestly, the way that I saw it is, if this triggers you, it triggers you. And as long as what I'm saying is not harmful, like, I could see if it was something where it was legit, I'm harming people by saying this. But no, you felt a way about what I said, even though it maybe because it's true for you. Maybe because it challenged you in some way. Maybe because you just felt like the way that I said it was abrasive or wrong, whatever. But the fact is that this is how I felt. This is what I said. And for some people, it ended up being like a controversial take. But it was also a blessing in disguise, because, yeah, it ended up being a blessing in disguise, because even though there were a lot of people who were saying negative things, there were so many more people who were coming into my comments saying, actually, I really do want to change my style, and I just don't know where to start with it. Or, do you have any suggestions on what I could do, because I feel like I've been stuck. Like, it was literally people who were starting to realize, oh, I've been like stagnant. Or people who had gone through, they've had kids, and now they just kind of feel like they're lost. And they're trying to understand, like, what can I do to make myself feel better, which is one of the groups of people that I wanted to help, right? And so it ended up being a time where, although it was definitely conflict, there was definitely it definitely was very uncomfortable to have people who did not agree with me, people who were like legit coming for me in the comments section. There were even people who like responded to, like, they stitched it, and like that was a time where I was kind of like on edge when it comes to people stitching my stuff, because I was always worried that they were stitching it because they were trying to disagree with me. And I feel like y'all know this about me, but just in case you don't, I don't like conflict. I would rather just avoid conflict altogether. I don't like arguing with people. I really don't like disagreements. Like, all of that stuff is very uncomfortable for me. And it was almost kind of like a crash course in managing a platform where I can have people not like what I say. I can have people who don't agree with it, but that's not going to stop me from saying the things that I know people need to hear. So, and that's just one of the times. There's been a couple other times where I've said things, even when it comes to like the whole topic of getting unshy. I think that a lot of people, they felt seen by what I said. But there's still people who will tell me I'm okay with being shy. What's wrong with being shy? Why are you trying to change me? Why are you trying to make me a different person? What's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with being this way? Like, people will still disagree with me and try to discredit what I say to this day. Every time I talk about it. But does that mean that now I don't say what I know to be true? At least for me, this is what I believe. This is the experience that I've had, and me sharing it is because I feel like this is true for a lot of people. Now, whether you want to accept it as true, whether you believe what I say, whether you agree with it, whether you even feel like I'm the person that you want to talk to about it or work with, whatever, it didn't negate the fact that me saying it, regardless of how it would be received or perceived, did something important for my brand. It did something important for the people that needed to find me, because it made me stand out. It made me visible. And so all of this, even in that video, I was telling a part of my story. Like, I was telling the origin story. I was telling the story of how getting unshy even became a thing. And the thing that's important for me to point out in all of this is that the fact that I'm talking about it and I'm sharing it from the place of where I started to where I am now doesn't mean that I'm not still growing and be getting more unshy. Like, there aren't still experiences that I have to go through to get better at this, to grow at this, that there aren't still challenges and things that maybe I'm not comfortable doing just yet, because this is how I've been for most of my life, right? Like, I'm still actively growing and becoming this person, but I still have a story and a point from where I was 5-6 years ago to where I was at the point that I made that video. Okay. But all of that to say that there's going to come a time where something that you say is going to be disruptive or controversial just because of the fact that everybody's not going to agree with it. Hey, K-Rock. And that should not be enough to stop you from talking about it and saying something about it if it is what your people need to hear. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. That's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna go any further into that. I'm gonna leave y'all with that, because I'm gonna leave y'all with that, and we're gonna get into the origin story. Okay, are y'all ready for the framework? I'm not even sure why I had to go on that, y'all, but it's just, I guess because, like, I really just want people to be courageous, and it takes courage to be seen, to be visible, but also to have people who like you, who love you, who can't stand you. Yeah. I mean, and you don't have to. Like, you don't have to fight. Oh, that was a part that I was going to mention. Thank you for saying that. You don't have to argue with people. You don't have to fight with them. You don't have to go back and forth. And there were so many videos. That's the part that I didn't say. I was trying to make myself look good, y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm going to be real with y'all, okay? I had to, there was a couple of people's comments that I made videos to them. Hey, Riri. I made videos to them, and I felt like I heard that voice in my head. Y'all know that sound on TikTok where it's like, take it down. Take it down. Like, that's literally what I felt. I recorded the video because there was one person, and like, you don't forget the negative comments. Thank you so much for helping me meet my live goal. You don't be forgetting like the negative comments. And so there was one person, she said something about, and I told y'all, like, this is the part where, like, I really get irritated, okay, when people try to come for my intelligence. And so she was saying something about, she said something about me, like, not having a degree in psychology, or like not having no experience. Like, who am I to talk about this? And so I was like, hold up. Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? I legit, y'all, I promise you, I saw the comment. I saved the comment. I recorded a video to her response. And the moment that, I'm trying to remember if I posted it or if I kept it in my draft, but I feel like almost like the moment that I wanted to post it, I heard take it down. And I was like, come on, for real? Really? So I can't say nothing back to her? Nothing at all? I had to take the video down. I had to take it down. And the biggest reason why is because I felt like what the person said wasn't going to lead to a productive conversation. Like, it wasn't going to lead to a productive conversation. It really was my ego, because I felt like, who are you talking to? And I wanted to read her. I went to her page to get some ammo. I promise y'all, like, I was ready to go in, and I was ready to swing back at everybody who said something. I did. I went to her page. I literally, y'all, I was like, I had everything I need to clap back, and I took the video down. There are some people who, like, that's fun to them. That's their thing. That's what they do. It's not my thing. And I felt like in that moment, it would have taken what I do and what I stand for in a completely different direction. And so I just didn't. Now, there were some comments that, like, if the person didn't agree with me, but they asked a good question, or they, like, asked clarifying questions, then I responded to those, right? Like, I didn't just, like, completely ignore my comment section, because for me, it felt like an exercise in having some thicker skin, you know, like, really being okay with people not agreeing with my perspective, or even being better at like defending what I'm saying or articulating what I'm saying. Because even in those response videos, the positive ones, not the clapback ones, there were people who were like, oh, okay, that makes sense, or I understand that now. And so it was even better for me, because it made me look like somebody who knew what I was talking about, because I knew what I was talking about. But you have a 30-second video where you say something and people are triggered. Sometimes people just need more information to understand what was going on. Oh, I was talking about one of the videos I had that was controversial by accident. Because it was a complete accident. I really wasn't, it really wasn't intentional. And honestly, like, if I ever want to, like, intentionally, like, poke the bear, I don't choose things that are I don't choose, like, really deep topics. Like, I don't enjoy it, because I just feel like it can get messy really fast. But yeah, I wasn't arguing with nobody. Now, if people wanted explanation, if it was an opportunity for me to further explain, if I started to notice that this was interesting to people, then I went for it. But all of that to say, like, it's not enough now for me not to speak on certain things. Like, I know that, like, the controversy, the disagreements, the things that I say that might kind of, like, trigger people, not even kind of, like, I know that it triggers people. But I'm only bringing up things that I know that I can help people with, is basically what I'm saying. So yeah, now we're good for real. But I'm gonna leave y'all with that. Just start thinking about that, ponder on that a little bit, because I really want y'all to be courageous and be willing to say the things that aren't necessarily popular, but they're important to hear. Okay. Are we ready to talk about the origin story now? I feel like I definitely went very, very far off on that one, y'all. But hopefully it was for a reason, which I feel like it was. So let me mirror so that y'all can see. Y'all can see the y'all can read the words. Okay. All right, y'all. So this is the origin story breakdown. They put it up there. So here is what it looks like. So we have, the first question is, where did it start? The next question is your internal and external desires, the struggle, the call, the villain, what's at stake, meeting the mentor, breakthrough, acting brand new, and transformation. And so this framework helps you to write your origin story. And your origin story is something that you would use as your about me page on your website. This is going to be what you use as like an introductory video to what you do, to your brand, what's happening. This is what you're going to tell when you get up on those stages and into those rooms, workshops, wherever you're speaking and you're introducing yourself to people. Your origin story is your introduction or reintroduction to your people. And the cool thing about it is that it can be repurposed and kind of broken down into pieces to use for short form content as well. Like any way that you split it up, it can be used to tell people who you are. And so when people are telling their stories or origin story, the thing that's important to remember is that I would start from the transformation, which is the very last step. And the thing about the transformation is that you are just simply telling people how have you changed as a result of XYZ. And so y'all remember in the beginning when I told y'all that, thank you y'all, in the beginning when I told y'all that it's not about having the most action-packed, drama-filled story. It's about having a story that's relatable. Your transformation is what people want. That's why it's the end of your origin story. So, and this can go for literally anything that you do. I think bring it back in the introduction of who you challenge, 7 days. Oh, I'm gonna screenshot that, Tasha. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. I like that. So your transformation can literally be anything. Like, your transformation could be that you used to have a hard time sleeping at night, and now you've been able to sleep on a consistent schedule for the past year, or your origin story, your transformation can be that your style used to be blah, and now every day you've been wearing color, or you've been getting up and getting yourself dressed. Your transformation can be you used to eat really unhealthy and you just couldn't figure out how to get yourself back on track, and now you've been consistently meal prepping. Like, your transformation does not have to be like this giant miraculous thing. It is just, what are you doing differently as a result of what happened? Right? And so this is why, even though you may still be actively in your story, which we all are, because we're alive, we're living life. So we're all still actively in our story, but we are not the same people. Hopefully, we're not the same people that we were 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, right? We have gone through and experienced some type of transformation that we now want to share with other people. That's the most important thing to remember. And so I want y'all to think about, work with me a little bit on this one, okay? I want y'all to think about what transformations you have experienced in your life. And try to think about this in relation to what you do already or what you want to do. What have you experienced? What transformation have you been experiencing in your life that you want to share with people? I know a big one for me right now, and I shared this with y'all a little bit. I've been sharing, like, I'm always sharing some kind of origin story. But I told y'all my fears with committing to things and setting dates and sticking to those dates. And today is the third day where I showed up on time for what I said I was going to do. I made content promoting it. I came on here every day and talked about it. It's been a lot of fun to talk about it. And I'm seeing better results than just going live sporadically. So I want to hear what y'all's are. I'm bringing, no, that was what you said earlier. Okay. From corporate to self-employment. Can I tell you, I love that origin story. I transform my negative self-talk to affirming myself and believing in myself. Period. all of us have some kind of transformation. Like, we have something that we have done, that we have experienced as a result of XYZ, right? The title caught you. Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for the earrings, and thank you for reminding me to refresh the room, Divine Flow. So we are going through something called the origin story. The origin story is your brand story. It tells why you do what you do, what it is about you that people need to know. And this is a really good, important tool for you to reintroduce yourself to people, introduce yourself to people, and feel confident in connecting with people in the way that you need to. So we've been going through the Getting Unshy workbook. This is the framework that I use to help people to build their personal brands. And so today is day 3 of the series. I've been going through all 5 steps. And so today we're talking about the origin story, and we're going to try to cover collaboration as well. So that's what Getting Unshy is all about. Transforming the idea of not being where I expected to being right where God needs me to be. I love that, friend. I love that. Hey, Audacity. Yeah. I have a long origin story and it's multiple parts. The thing about it is that you don't have to tell your entire story. Like, and your origin story, let me describe this too. It can shift and adjust over time. Like, we're really talking about the key points that are relevant to whatever the transformation is, which is why I told you want to start with the transformation. What is a transformation? What is the origin story to that transformation? Because we can have multiple stories that we can tell depending on what it is that our platform is doing. So, because it can also feel, I know it can feel overwhelming, which is why I made this framework in the first place, because it can be daunting to be like, okay, well, where do I start? Like, do I start talking about when I was, 5 years old? Do I start talking about when I was born? Like, where does my origin story start? So it's helpful to think about it in terms of the transformation. Like, tell the story with the end in mind. I'm stepping more into being more comfortable taking the holistic alternative side of wellness. Tashi, we're here for it. I'm so excited for that. Like, I'm so excited for that. That if there's anything, I feel like, and I told you this before, but I feel like that's going to really make you stand out. Like, it's going to really make you stand out. So I'm glad that you're stepping more into it. And I'm looking forward to hearing the origin story to that. So, yay! Mine includes a spiritual gift that impacts me. I love that poem. Hey, Nessa. Yeah. Nah, that's gonna make you stand out naturally. So that's another important thing to keep in mind too, y'all, is that your origin story, not only does it make you relatable, but it really does make you stand out. Like, being able to tell people why you do what you do, where it came from, telling the story behind it, it naturally differentiates you. So let's kind of rewind a little bit. What do you mean what are you not sure about? You're not sure about the transformation? Okay. So let's go back. So we talked about the transformation, and we've shared what our transformations are, right? So we already know what our ending is. We already understand what it is that our story is, our origin story is building to. Now, we're going to go back to the beginning, and we're going to talk about, where did it start? Now, this is the part where it might be a little tricky, because you may not be sure where to start with the story. And if it feels like you have to go back further as you start going through the details of the story, that's okay. Because it took me a little bit of time to really think about, okay, well, where did this whole process begin? what was that moment for me, or what was that time in my life where this was necessary, or where it was a thought in my mind. But just kind of be graceful with yourself, because what you might find as you work through your origin story is that you'll start to remember details that you forgot, which is why it's a good thing to do it, because you start to remember important things that are relevant to the people that you're telling the story to, right? But you're also just kind of like, uncovering some things, kind of digging through some stuff. And so it might take you some time to really be firm on, okay, this is where it started. But that's where we're going to go with this. So let's say that we're going back to what I was talking about with my transformation being consistent, right? And not feeling like I can commit to things. As far back as I can remember, this started with, I'm going to say that like the big moment in my life was when, man, because it's been a couple of times that it happened. See, like literally it's happening in real time, y'all. I want to say that I won't go back that far. I'll say that my issues with commitment, or feeling like it was a problem, started when I began working with my finance coach, right? My financial Tia, that's what I be calling her. And it became a problem because at this point in my life, I was realizing that I really wanted to be married. And I don't talk about this often, y'all. And there's a reason why I don't talk about like love and relationship stuff very often. But that's where I was in my life. Like I was really just kind of struggling with like loving myself, receiving love, feeling like I was lovable, like all of these things. And so that was like the point where I became really interested in it, because I was realizing that like I felt like I wasn't picking like good people to date. I felt like I just was like struggling with my business, and it just was feeling like I can't get it right. Like I just kept feeling like I was just being so like flaky and scattered and all over the place. Like I was just really feeling like I was really not feeling great about myself. And so and I just knew that I needed to change something. There was a problem. It was a problem. And so that was where I first started to have that feeling. And so that's where it started. That was the moment where I was like, okay, something's got to change, right? And so going to my internal and my external desires, internally, what I wanted to change was, for one, I wanted to feel better about myself. Like I wanted to talk to myself better. I wanted to feel loved. I wanted to feel like I had grace to make mistakes. I wanted to feel understood. I wanted to feel like I could be successful with my business. Like I really wanted to feel like I could do this, because at that point I wasn't feeling like that. Externally, what my desires were, what I wanted was clients. I wanted to be making money. Like I was like, this is really stressing me out. Like I just don't know what to do. I wanted to be able to be in a healthy relationship. So that was another desire that I had. And so that's like the beginning parts of my origin story for this particular issue. Okay. So the struggle is our next step. And the struggle is what was happening at the time that wasn't working for me. And then talk about the things that you were missing out on because of it. So at that time, what was happening is that I felt like my videos weren't getting any views. I kept feeling like I was getting into relationships with people where I wasn't feeling loved and valued. I was, what else? I was missing out on, I really want to say money, because it was like a really big thing. I got you, Palm. Please message me and tell me that you need the physical copy of the workbook. Okay. So that I don't forget. Just message me on Telegram. And then also, what else was I missing out on? I was just missing out on like the joy of being an entrepreneur. Like I had left my job for a reason, right? Like I didn't just leave it to be, for one, I didn't leave it to be struggling. I also didn't leave it to be miserable. Like, I just knew, like, I wasn't supposed to be miserable as an entrepreneur, but that's what I was feeling. And so there was all of this stuff was happening at the same time. And then another big one that I knew was a problem, but I just didn't know how to fix it, is that I felt like I needed structure. I was like, I need to be able to say that this is what I'm doing and commit to it. Like, I needed to have structure. So that was the struggle that was going on. That's what was happening at the time. Now, the next step is called the call. The call is, this is that feeling or idea that came to you to do something different. What is it that you know was meant for you? What is it that you know was meant for you? So let's see. The idea that I had, the feeling that I had was, I'll say one of the big ones is that I knew that the relationships that I was in, like, just weren't working. And I knew that that was also impacting how I saw myself. I also knew that I needed to feel better about myself. I needed to show myself love, because if I didn't love myself, how could anybody else, right? Like, these are all things that I knew, like, I'd heard. But I want to say that the real aha moment for me was this time that I went on this 30-day like walking journey. And I have a friend who has a walking journal, and so the journal is like, first and foremost, it was for your fitness, for your health. However, there was a spiritual component to the walking, because every day there were questions that you had to answer. And so the journal was meant to be like your companion in this whole walking thing. And this was the time where I realized how, it's a really dope journal. It's a really dope journal. I'll share it with y'all when I remember. If y'all want the journal, you can put that in Telegram too. It just like a disclaimer real fast. If there's anything that I mentioned and you don't want me to forget, just tell me in Telegram. If you tell me in Telegram, I will remember. Okay. So, so I was doing this walking journal. This is at the time where I was learning that, walking is actually really good for me, not just like health wise, but it's good for me mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Like, I actually need walks to think clearly. And so the whole like walking journey that I was going on was where a lot of stuff was revealed to me. And so there was a particular day where I was walking, and I heard God tell me that it was going to be hard for me to, I'm trying to remember how it was phrased. But basically, like, my issues with commitment were going to be like a barrier to me being able to like have the type of relationship that I want. Like, I need to work on my commitment, basically. And so when I heard that, like, it was almost kind of like a moment where I broke down a lot of bit. I almost tried to lie again, y'all. I'm so sorry. I be trying to make myself look like I got it all together. It's a habit. I did not have it all together. I was struggling. And so I broke down, and I was like thinking about like all of the times where like commitment was a problem for me. Like, you know, like, and I had to be honest about like a lot of the times where I would be flaky, or I wasn't necessarily being dependable. Like, there was a lot of things that I had to be honest about what was happening. Right. And so I think that was like the moment where I was like, okay, something's got to change, because this is what I want, but this is what I'm doing, and this is keeping me from what I want. So I started to, I guess, like, figure out what that looked like to work on it. Like, how do you work on this? How can I be more consistent and committed to the things that I want to improve my life? Right. And so after that, the next step to our story is the villain. And the villain is what was blocking you from being great, whether it was a person, a mindset. Hold on, let's see. A person, a mindset, or an experience in your way. And so I think the biggest villain in this story, the biggest villain I would say, is just this idea that I'm trying to think of where it came from, y'all. On the surface, the villain was me struggling with being consistent, or like just me being afraid to commit to things. That was what it was on the surface. But deep down, like, the real problem was I guess it was like a fear that if I really do try to do it, if I really do make an attempt, that it's not going to work out. And so it was almost easier to like not commit to anything so that I wouldn't get my feelings hurt. So that I wouldn't try. I can always say like, well, you know, it's okay because I didn't try that hard, even though I really want it. So it was, yeah, I think that's what I would say the villain is. My biggest villain many times is fear, and it leads to inconsistency. Yeah, that's what my fear was. My biggest fear is that it will work. That one became a fear for me in later. That's a good one too, though. That's a good one too. I learned that was a fear of mine. I think that was like last year when that was like a really big thing for me. But at this time, but the fear that I had was, if it doesn't work out and I'm invested, then, you know, it's just easier to say it's okay, I didn't try that hard, right? So the next step in telling our origin story is what's at stake. So talk about what you would miss out on if you decided not to make some changes in your life. And so the biggest thing for me that was at stake, one, it was like, I just feel like I'm not going to find a good man. Y'all, I really wish that it was more business, like the motivation was more of a business thing, but it was not. Like, it really was not. The motivation for me at the time was really that I was just tired of feeling like I just kept choosing the wrong person. Yes, you can order the physical book. Yeah, you can order the physical book, Tashi. I think the link to it is in my bio. It might be on my website, but you can get it off Amazon. Yeah, it was because I wanted to be married. I wanted to find love, and the thing that I was realizing was happening is that the relationships that I was in, or, you know, situationships, because a lot of them weren't really relationships, but the situationships that I was in were impacting everything else in my life. It was like literally like impacting everything else in my life. There was times where this is just really quick, y'all, because I really do not want to make this a relationship live, but there were times where like really important things were happening in my life, business wise, like professionally, and even just like personally, big things were happening in my life. And at that same point, that's also where there was like strife in those relationships. Like, either I was getting broken up with, or people were telling me like I'm not really interested in you like that, or this is not what this is. Like, it was like every time something great was happening for me, this was also happening at the same time. And I was like, it just threw everything off. Like, it made it so hard for me to show up. And so that was the motivation for me at the time. Like, I was tired of feeling like that. I was tired of feeling that way. And that was really where it started. And so in this process, and I think that I can talk about this, it might come to this point in the story, but in that process, I learned so much more that had nothing to do with dating. It had nothing to do with being married to anyone. Like, this was where the work that I needed to do to love myself really started. Okay. So I see you, Nessa. I know, focus on the vision, but I'm just being real with you. That's not where I was at. That's not what motivated me to change. It just wasn't. It wasn't. And so I just think that that's important to talk about just in general, because like there are so many things in our lives that impact every other thing in our life. Like as much as we try to compartmentalize it, we try to segment it and, keep it in this little box, all of it spills over into everything else. So yeah, I hear you, I see you, but I'm also, I got to be real. That's what was happening. So yeah, that's where we're at in the story. But what was at stake? Hey, Nikki. What was at stake was like I said, I wanted to find a good man. I was tired of picking the wrong people. I also wanted to be able to be consistent with, I wanted to be dependable in general. Like one of the things that I told my mentor, which I'll get to that point in the story, but one of the things that I would tell her is that like I just don't feel like I'm a dependable person. And that was a problem for me because, for one, I just want to be able to be dependable in general, like no matter what it is, whether it's business, personal, whatever. I want to trust that when people come to me, they can trust me. They can trust me to show up. They can trust me to do what I say I'm going to do. They can trust my word. Like I want my word to mean something. And so that was what was at stake. And then like outside of that, hey, Angel, I saw your message on Telegram. I will respond to it. I'm like in the middle of teaching the storytelling, but I'll get back to you. I saw what you asked me. So yeah, but I knew that like outside of me wanting that for myself, I also knew that what was at stake was that if I can't be trustworthy, if I can't be dependable with what I say I'm going to do business wise, thank you, Kuma, that's going to affect my cash flow. That's going to affect my ability to be able to grow. That's going to affect the dreams that I had of having a community and helping people and being able to have clients and serve people. I couldn't do any of that if I was not a dependable person, especially if I didn't believe that I was a dependable person, right? So those are the things that at that time were really a big focus for me. That's what was at stake for me. That's what I would have been missing out on if I didn't try to get better. Yeah, exactly. You got to say what you mean and mean what you say. And that's the kind of person that I wanted to be. So the next step in telling our story and telling our origin story, before I go into this next step, y'all tell me what was at stake for you in your story? Like what made you realize that if I don't change, if I don't go through this process, then this is what I will be missing out on? Y'all tell me what's at stake. Y'all bear a little bit of your soul as I'm bearing mine. I see you, friend. Being able to provide for my son. Yes. Being able to feel fulfilled. Yes. That's a good one. What else y'all got? What else is at stake if you didn't go through this transformation? History and time. What you mean by that, friend? Being able to be free and connected without judgment. Yes. Being able to provide a stable environment for my children. Yes. Hey, Deanna. What else is at stake? History repeating itself. Oh, okay. I got you. What else would have been at stake if you didn't decide to go on the transformation? You just got off live? Oh, man. How did it go? You came in as I was talking about the origin story and wasting time not living up to my full potential. Yes. These are good ones, y'all. If y'all have any more of them, continue sharing them, which affects me and my family, period. It was behind the scenes of new YouTube series. Ooh. You got to give us the rundown. Can you tell us about it in Telegram? Not fulfilling what my heart wants. Yes. Yes. Lowering my standards and my expectations. Bruh. Yeah. That's good. That's good. And like, could you really continue living your life once you know that that's what's happening? Like, can you just ignore it when you know, like, this is not the best I can do? I don't know anybody that can do that. Hey, Katera, how you doing, girl? Yeah. All right, y'all. Those are good. Those are good. Y'all are filling in the steps of your origin story. For me, it was feeling unfulfilled and stagnant. Yes. Yeah. Yep. Feeling like, woe is me. My life is never going to get better and nothing's ever going to change. And it's like, are you going to change? Awareness wouldn't allow me to live like that anymore. Yes, exactly. It's like once you know, you can't unknow it. So like now are you going to continue to live your life being aware that this isn't really what you want and then not try to go for it? No. I'm not doing that. All right, y'all. So the next step in our origin story. Are you? Oh, good. Maybe I can help you fill in some of the blanks if you have them. So the next step in our origin story, y'all, is meeting the mentor. Okay. Who was that person who helped shake things up for you and guide you along the path to transforming your life? Who was that person? And I'll say this, whether this person is someone you know personally or whether it's somebody that you know of, those both qualify as a mentor. Her name is Jada. No, I'm not finna cry. I'm not gonna cry. Okay. But I appreciate that. I love that I get to be a part of your origin story. Deanna, your best friends. My mama definitely paved the way. Yes, that's so good. That's so good. All right, y'all. My mentor for this period, this segment of my life, this story that we're telling, is my my financial Tia, who I told y'all about. Tia. I'm trying to say it the right way. She is the person she's not the only mentor that I had in my life. However, she is the person for this particular thing who helped me to see it differently. And so at that time, I told her that I felt like I wasn't a dependable person and that my struggle with growing or whatever was that I didn't feel like I could trust myself. Like I just felt like I had commitment issues and I just was just this damaged person, right? And so she told me that, first of all, that I have examples in my life where I have been dependable. She was like, you have people who you've been in relationship with for most, if not all of your life. You are a mother, so you've been showing up, you've been dependable to your son. You have areas in your life where you've been dependable. So this idea that you're not a dependable person is not true. Now, she said, what is it about those relationships that you can take and apply to the areas in your life where you do want to be more dependable? You do want to be more consistent. You do want to do better with your commitments. Like, what does that look like? But this idea that you're not capable of doing it is not true. And so when she said that, that also was like a moment where like it kind of snapped me, like, it snapped me out of that whole idea of being the victim. Because I told y'all this the other day. I can go back to that space very easily. Like I can slip back into being a victim. And it's because like throughout my life, it's just been a lot easier to be the victim than to sorry y'all, I just had a moment. It's been easier to be the victim to protect myself. It's been easier to be the victim than to admit that I did something wrong or that I can do something to change, because either I'm worried that it won't work out, or like that whole feeling of like being worried about abandonment or being rejected. Like if I messed up, then that means that I'm like now the villain in somebody's story and now they're going to leave me. Like now this makes me unlovable. Like it turns into this whole narrative. And so sometimes it's easier to be the victim because then I can kind of protect myself. At least that's my thinking, right? I can protect myself in that space. So her saying that snapped me out of that. Like it got me out of that, and it helped me to say, okay, this is something that if I want it, I can work to improve this and get better at it, right? And so from there, that is when I had my breakthrough moment. I'm going to look at y'all comments in a second, y'all. I'm trying to move through this because I was not paying attention to time today. But I promise I see y'all. Well, I'm moving through this quickly. So we're at the next step in the origin story. And this is the breakthrough. And this is the aha moment when things finally started to click. And this is the moment when you knew that things were going to change. And so the breakthrough moment doesn't always happen when you recognize the problem, or even when you meet the mentor where you get the solution to the problem, right? However, the breakthrough is when you try, or when it feels like things can actually improve, or when you see that things are starting to improve. And so the whole idea of honoring my commitments and like being able to show up actually started a while ago. Now it's still a thing that I is a challenge for me, but I know that I can like show up and do the things that I say I'm going to do. But I like to celebrate the fact that I do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes me feel good. It feels like a reward, even if I don't get certain results that I would like from, showing up, going live, whatever the case may be. And so the breakthrough moment was actually, part of it was when I wrote that list down and I saw all the ways that I have been consistent and I've been dependable. That literally was like a game changer for me to be able to see I was already doing it, because I'm the kind of person where I have to experience it to feel like things are changing, to feel like they're better. Like you can tell me and I can maybe like see it or visualize it, but I also have to experience it. I got to give myself different experiences to feel confident in the fact that things can be different or they can change. And so that was the first thing that I did. The second thing that I felt like was a really big breakthrough moment for me was that, I'm trying to think, there's so many things that happened at that time. It was when I started writing Getting Unshy. But this is before I knew what it was going to be called, though. So I didn't know it was going to be called Getting Unshy. But I started writing out like the curriculum. And I was thinking back to like this project that I had worked on like years ago, and I realized that there was something that I had been working on prior, without realizing that what I was working on back then was exactly what I needed in this moment. And so I started setting like deadlines for myself to write it out. Yay, welcome back. I started setting deadlines for myself to actually like write through this, like go through and write the steps. I finished the like basic like transcript of everything, or manuscript. I don't really know what you would call it, but like the rough draft. I finished the rough draft of it. I'm trying to think, because all this stuff is starting to get a little murky time wise. Another thing that I did is I started small. So if I set up a meeting with someone, I showed up to that meeting. And the only reason why I didn't show up to those meetings, because remember I told you I had more than one mentor. I had meetings I had to show up for. I had like lives and things that I was scheduling, live streams and stuff. And so I started to show up to those consistently. And like if I set a date for something, I showed up to that date. even if nobody else was there, even if it didn't perform well, even if I really didn't have that much to talk about. And so over time, I was starting to show myself that I can be dependable in this area as well. And so the next step in our origin story is acting brand new. Okay. And so acting brand new is what are the things that you started doing differently. And I feel like I kind of told that part as I was describing the things that I did with the meetings and starting to schedule stuff and then stick to my commitments. And the fact that one of the biggest things about acting brand new is that you got to think about the things that you started doing that you wouldn't have done before. And one of the biggest ones for me, y'all, I feel like y'all my people, so y'all are gonna be able to relate to me on this. But like there will be times where like I just didn't do stuff because I didn't feel like it. I just didn't feel like doing it. I didn't feel like doing it. I don't even really have like, and whatever the reason was, like it's just like I'm just not feeling it today, so I'm not going to. Like that would be my reason for like not going live. That would be my reason for like not getting up and making content, not talking about stuff. Like that was always like my go-tos. Like I just don't feel like it. And like if I was being honest, deep down, it wasn't even about like not feeling like it, because I can do stuff when I'm tired. But I started to be more aware of why, like the underlying reason why. And so sometimes I'm saying I don't feel like it, but really I'm feeling like insecure about what I want to talk about, right? Or maybe if I have a meeting, I'm feeling unprepared for the meeting because maybe I went this whole time without doing something that I was supposed to do. And now this meeting is going to be like, you know, my coming to Jesus moment where I got to tell this person to their face that I didn't do it, or like fake it like I do. Because sometimes I would do that too. I would just like, I can be like a good talker even if I really wasn't prepared for it. Am I the only person that's like that? I can like, if I'm not prepared, sometimes you don't know, because I can finesse it and like figure it out. And so I would lean on that skill a lot. But like in reality, like was stuff really getting done? No. No. The only thing productive I did was this conversation. Oh my gosh. Whew. Yeah, no, it does. And I'm so stressed out. Like the fact that I'm good at it is really a problem because it honestly stresses me out. I feel so much better when I'm prepared. And I don't know why I gaslit myself into believing that I'm just like this last minute person. I'm not. Like my cortisol levels are so much lower when I feel like I know what I'm doing. Even if stuff changes, I can handle that. But just like going in all willy-nilly, I can't do that. I really, it's not good for me. It's not helpful. Which is why I was telling y'all, like, I really like this whole little time slot that I've been working with this week because it's giving me structure. And like, I desperately need structure. Okay. I've tried to deny it. I've tried to act like I'm just this free spirit who doesn't need any boundaries or no restraints. And I'm not that person. Okay. I need them. I just have never felt confident in my ability to maintain it, which is what this whole story has been about. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hey, Diala. Yeah. I do. Like, I be riding real heavy on that spontaneity, and like that doesn't, it's just not good. It's not good for me. It's not healthy. Hey, it's good to see you again, Diala. So we're going through the origin story for everybody that's coming in. I've gone through, we're actually on the last step of the origin story breakdown, but the origin story is the thing that tells your why. Like, it tells people why you do what you do. It's like the cornerstone, the heart of your brand. It's something that you can put on your on the About Me page of your website. This is what you can use to introduce yourself when you're speaking. This is what you can use to introduce yourself even in a series of content. This could be a YouTube video to introduce your channel or what you're doing, why you do what you do. This helps people to understand your why, and it sets you apart. Okay, so we are at the final step, and we're back to the transformation. Okay, so remember, I told y'all the transformation, we're telling our story with the transformation in mind. So going back through all the things that I talked about, all the stories, the transformation that I went through was feeling like I can actually be dependable, like setting dates for things, committing to those dates, showing up when I say that I'm going to do it, and really putting effort into the goals that I'm setting for myself, right? Like being more intentional and not just going out and just doing whatever. And so this whole story, especially the people that's been here from the beginning, you see how all of this, like at every point of me telling the story, there was something that was relatable to it. Like, did y'all pick up on that? And nothing in my story was traumatic. There was really no drama except for like the drama I was going through internally. I was dramatic, but there was no drama. Nothing happened to anybody else in this story. The thing that made this story important is that the transformation was clear, what it is that I wanted to do, and it was relatable. At every point in my story, somebody was able to relate to something that I was talking about. And if I was, let's say at the end of this origin story, I was now offering some type of, let's say I was offering some type of like book where I'm teaching you how to build structure. And I'm teaching you how to be more organized and not be so all over the place, how to be more committed to your goals. How confident would you feel in buying that book from me now that you've heard my story? Let me know. And y'all can be honest with me. If you're listening to it and you was like, actually, no, that's not convincing, you could tell me that, but I honestly don't feel like that's the case. I feel like even listening to it myself, if I was offering something like that, I would be like, I like her. I trust that because I can see that. I can relate to that. And then the thing that makes it really convincing is that you see me doing it now. Like, you see me showing up. You see me being consistent. You see me being intentional. So you know that the transformation is real because I'm living it. Regardless of how much more work I can do in this area, okay? Like, I really want to make sure that I like kind of go in and hammer that point home. It's not about being perfect. It's about being able to offer the transformation and then tell the story that helps people to understand it. Period. Yes, Nyala. So this is what I want y'all to be able to do. This is what this is going to help you to do. Okay, this is what the origin story is going to help you to do. It's going to help you to tell this story. It's going to help you to be relatable to people. It's going to help you to tell the story that's relevant to the goals that you have, to the transformation that you want to offer to people. And so I really hope that y'all feel encouraged by that, because I feel like this was like this little section of the live, when I started going into the breakdown of it, y'all were really engaged in that. And you could have this exact same experience with your story. You can have this exact same experience with yours, regardless of how much drama or whatever is in it, because it's not about being the most entertaining or the most interesting. It's about being relatable and then showing people that you can give the transformation that you're talking about. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all can, if y'all have questions or any feedback, then y'all can feel free to share that now. But I do want to come back tomorrow, and I want to give y'all this last day. I know I said it's going to be 3 days, but I really do want to talk about the community and the collaboration side of things. And so that's just going to have its own live, which is cool. I'm okay with that. And I think that we can kind of make that conversation, it's not going to be just like a training. I'll talk about it some, but we can actually make this more like an open forum type of conversation, because we're still going to do like our networking promo live. And so this is going to be, it's going to be an interesting combo, I think. So I'm going to try, it's going to be something a little bit different, but I'm going to talk about the topic, but we can talk about it. We can have like an open discussion about it. How does that sound? It would be a little bit of both, but the boxes will be open. You can come up, we can chat about it. We could talk about your experiences with it. You can share what you know about it, and it can just be, you know, almost like a little bit of a party. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Niala. I just saw what you said. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so that's what we're going to do. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about collaboration. We're going to be talking about, what is it? Collaboration, relationship building, all of that good stuff. And we're going to talk about it all together. Okay? And for the people that were asking about the book, yay. Oh, Niala, that's going to make me so happy. I can't wait to see you. I know you're going to have some great stuff to share too. The workbook is available. It's on Amazon. Actually, let me say this part first. I have a couple of copies that I can send out. I have 4 copies that I can send out. Palm is 4, because I'm already going to send one to Palm. She's already been on the list of people I got to send one to. But if y'all want me to send it to you, it'll get to you faster than if you order it from Amazon right now. So I can send the physical copies to the folks that want them. So y'all let me know. If you're not in Telegram and you're not interested in joining Telegram, it's no pressure. But if you do join Telegram, it's lit. I'm just going to let you know that now. You're missing out if you're not Telegram. But if you want the copy, but you don't want to join Telegram, just DM me and let me know, because it's going to be cheaper to get it from me than off Amazon. I think on Amazon right now it's like 30, it might be like 35, something like that. From me, I can give it to y'all for 25. So I can sell it cheaper because I'm the one that's sending it out to you. Yeah, y'all got a crochet class. That's so cool. A crochet class coming up. I do have the digital, so I'm gonna try that out more, because I've been neglecting selling without being a sellout. Yeah. And you want to know what's cool, honestly, is that you are you're working through it, Kayla. You're working through it in real time. But if there's like aspects of your brand profile that you need to work on in that section specifically, then I would definitely revisit that and start filling in those details, because it's going to be time for you to really like start marketing it. Which makes me so excited. Y'all, if y'all don't know, Kayla is creating her first digital product. Let me go ahead and give her a round of applause, because she's just been wrong. She's going to be launching her first digital product. She's going to be marketing it herself, but I just be so excited that, and the fact that I could talk about it now, she's going to be putting out an affirmation guide. And if y'all don't already follow Kayla, her affirmations are so good. Y'all, like seriously. And I'm not a big affirmation person. So it means a lot that I feel that way about them, because I've seen how the affirmations have actually turned into, like, they've manifested into her real life. Like, I've seen them. Like, she'll tell me what they are, and then I'll see her literally go and do the things that she's affirming herself in. So if you are somebody who has been interested in affirmations, and maybe you've been a little skeptical about affirmations, which is what I've been saying, like, she should really lean into marketing wise, because there's people like me who is not necessarily like, I'm not opposed to them, I just haven't had the best experiences with them. But hers I trust. And so Yeah, she is a walking affirmation, y'all. And she has a channel inside of our Telegram where she's been sharing affirmations. I want to say almost daily, if not daily. So get yourself in there if you want to be encouraged every day. We have Palm, who is also leading the charge with our Misfit Tea. She has a tea business talking about all things tea, all things like confidence and affirming yourself, building your self-esteem, being reflective. And there's going to be some other things that'll come up as she posts more in that channel, but we have that going on. We also, the link is in your bio. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The link is in her bio, y'all. That's, I love it. I love it. Yeah, okay. So let me share this part. I'm good, okay? I'm good. I don't have no tissue, and I'm be on here looking like a raccoon. We got to get to these 60 members. Yeah, we do. We do. I think we're almost at 40 now. But y'all, okay. So, was it yesterday, Kayla, where I was telling you that I was telling her that, hold on, let me rewind. Sorry. Let's go back. So y'all can know what the conversation was. So yesterday we were talking about building community, and I was encouraging people to build community off of social media. Okay. I was like, subscribers is cool, because that's some income coming in, especially if you already go live anyway. I'm not saying don't get your subscribers. However, I said that it's even more important and it's more valuable to have a community that doesn't just exist on social media. And so then Kayla asked me, she was like, okay, so should I be starting to grow mine? Like, should I be thinking about that, even though I'm still working on my product and it's not ready to be out just yet? And so when she asked that question, I was like, well, that's what the channel is inside of the Trendsetters community. Like, the channel that she has for affirmations, I was like, that's your channel. I was like, use that channel like it's yours, like it's your community. Like, this is your space to test out things. This is your space to promote yourself, to market what you're doing, to market your product. Like, that was my thinking when I told her to do it. I was like, you already know what you want to do. So start building your community this way. And like, you really take ownership of this channel, because that was the intention behind it. That was the purpose of it. And so when I said that, this was literally just yesterday, and now she's already like take heed to it. Yeah, yes, Palm. And that same thing goes for you, y'all. Listen, if y'all knew how like intentional I am with the things that I do, like, it's really rare that I don't have a reason behind the things that I decide to do and say. Okay. When I came up with this whole concept, I'm the one that came up with the concept, right? But me and Antoinette we've collaborated to actually grow it. Okay. So this is not to say that she's still a very big part of this. This is my partner in it. She's down there in the comments, Bullock. But when I first had this idea, this thought, I always knew that this platform that was being created, this community, was to give people a leg up for their own thing. Like, as I grow, my platform has always been so that the people who I encounter who are ready to take that next step are not starting from the bottom. They're not starting from zero. You're not starting from nothing. You're starting with my network, my experience, my expertise, my whatever. Like, you're starting wherever I'm at, as long as you're ready to go, right? And so when I was looking at Telegram, I knew that I wanted it to have, like, little like subdivisions, right? Like little breakoffs. And I knew that I was not going to be the person to manage all of them, because I'm not an expert in everything. And I'm not called to everything. And so when I called out the people that I did and I gave y'all the channels, I was being very intentional when I said that. I know it might have felt like it was just kind of like, off the cuff, because I acted on the idea in the moment, but I already had been thinking about it. I'd already been plotting all this out. So like I knew, I was like, okay, affirmations, you got this product that needs to get out. You already have a community. Make the channel, build it out, go for it. Palm, I knew you had your teas. I know you had your the messages that you do for the misfits. We already have a community. We already have a space, a platform that you can utilize to grow it. Run it like your own. That it is yours, is your space. That was always the intention behind it. So, yeah. It's y'all's. And the only reason why I would be against someone starting one and building their own is if I felt like you couldn't handle it, or if I felt like there was like a misalignment for some reason. That's the only reason why I would say no to that. But if it makes sense, if it's something that we need as a community, and you have a business or a brand that aligns with that topic, take charge. That's what it's there for. Yeah. All right, so you can, I think, and you know, once I get an understanding, I'm ready to take action. Yes. I'm creating, I just saw what you said, friend. I'm creating the content channel tonight. Okay. Yes. Yup. No, let me get into Telegram more often. I need to share more. Yes, Deanna, because we had no idea. We had no idea. I was like, you were live? I didn't know. So yeah, tomorrow, y'all, we're gonna have our conversation with collaboration panel. The boxes are gonna be open, so you can come up and we could talk about it. It'll be a lot more casual. It will not be like a full-blown, class. The replays, I will take the replays and I'll post them on a private channel, and I'll put the link to that inside of Telegram so that if you missed any of the days, you'll have access to all the replays. And then the last thing that I will say is that if you are interested in working through Getting Unshy, the whole framework, you want somebody that's going to help hold you accountable. You want to work through every step in depth and make it work for you. You need somebody to do it with you. The Getting Unshy Collective is going to be starting in October, the end of October. We're going to be launching the next cohort. So if you need somebody, if you've been trying to get your brand together, you've been trying to grow your platform, and you need to know, well, not even if you don't need to know, but you just need somebody that's going to do this with you, the collective is open. So you can DM me if you're interested, and I will give you more information. Just DM me the word collective, and I will reach out to you after the live is over and give you more information about it. And if you're in Telegram, you don't have to DM me. You can just send it in Telegram and let me know. But yeah, we're going to be working through this, all the steps so that you're able to have a brand that you feel confident in. So you know what you're talking about. You know who you are. You feel confident sharing your stories. You understand what type of content you need to be making to grow your brand. And then you're also confident in what it is that you're selling, because outside of the brand deals and the partnerships and all that good stuff, I'm going to always encourage you to have your own. So whether that's a product or whether that's a service, we're going to make sure that at the end of the program, at the end of the collective, that you feel confident in those three things. So if that's something that you want, that's what you need, then make sure that you reach out to me so that you can be a part of the October collective. If you're not ready to make that step just yet, but you are interested, then I would suggest you getting the workbook, and you can work through the steps in the workbook. It's all the same framework. The biggest difference is that you just won't have me doing it with you. But it's still good for you to explore, start getting ahead of some of the work that you want, see how you feel about it, and then when you're ready, you can join the next round of the collective. Okay, so that's what's coming up. Outside of that, if you do want to work with me but you don't want to be in the collective, if you want to work with me one-on-one, then you can let me know that too, either by DM or if you're in Telegram, you can reach out to me and let me know if you want to do more of a one-on-one kind of thing. Okay. Do we have any questions? Any concerns before I get off of here? Or is there anything that I told y'all I was going to put inside a Telegram that you don't want me to forget? Because I said a couple of things I know, but now I don't remember what I said I was going to tell y'all about. I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm this way. Are we good? Okay. Bet. Now I'm going to take that as we're good. I will see y'all tomorrow. I'll be on at 12. Yeah. I'll be on at 12 tomorrow. So if y'all want to come hang out with me, I'll be here. I'll make it an event so y'all can register just like I've been doing. And outside of that, y'all already know any questions or anything when I'm not on live, you can drop them in Telegram. Okay. I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Thank y'all for rocking with me these past 3 days, working through this entire framework. I hope that it was very beneficial for you and that you learned something new. And my goal is to not make this the only time that I do it, but that might be maybe like not next week, but the week after that might be the soonest that I'll do this whole little series again. Yes. Oh yeah. Okay, I got it down. Dropping the live recaps. I might just drop them as is. There's a part of me that wants to be able to put like chapters at least so that you know where to go. But honestly, like, it would be helpful if I could just find something that does that automatically, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But yeah, I'll post the replays. And it was something else. Yeah. Last thing, y'all. This is not related to Getting Unshy, but just in general, if y'all have something coming up, please tell us. Okay, if y'all have a live that you're doing, if you have some type of like fundraiser or just something that you want to like advertise or promote, share that with us inside of Telegram so that we know. One thing that I do want to work on is having like a little like bio type situation so that everybody knows who's inside of the group and what they do. But I haven't figured that part out logistically, so that's why that doesn't exist just yet. But I'm looking through like some options for that. Okay, yes, put it inside a Telegram. We're wrapping up, Angel, but yeah. Oh, that's what I want to tell you. Is it possible for the crochet to be a part of the artsy can it be a part of the artsy thing? Okay, because it still falls under that umbrella. My only hesitation is that I don't want there to be too many sections where they can be condensed. So like if it makes sense in something that already exists, I would prefer for it to stay there. But now if it's something that absolutely needs to be different, then we could talk about that. But I think for now, let's keep it in that. But if you do need help with maybe like hosting it, because you can host live sessions inside of Telegram and you can talk about it and you can promote it in there. So if other people want to join it, you can have like that little powwow. Let me know like the date and time and I can set that up as an event. Yeah, so y'all can have that whole meeting in there, and you can do video too. So y'all can get on video and you can chat inside of Telegram. Finances. Okay, we can create a finance channel because we don't have that yet. Now with the finance channel, I will create it. I won't make it a responsibility just yet. But if you decide that you do want to like take the lead on that channel, let me know. But we can definitely create a finance channel and you can drop all that stuff in there. Yeah, it's got video, it's got audio, and you can schedule it and people can just like click on it from inside a Telegram. Yeah. So we can have a whole little community in there. Okay. So I can't do that. I can make a finance one. Okay, cool. If you are open to it, and then it shall exist. All right. Is there anything else that y'all feel like we're missing that we need? I know we have the fitness one. I feel like the fitness one needs a leader. It's still there. So, but I'll be interested to see who that person's going to be that's going to take charge in that one. That's going to be an interesting one. If Tashi wants to, I'm not gonna push it on her. Cause I know Tashi has her own like community and stuff. But if she wants to be, she absolutely can. So yeah. Um I don't think there's any other ones right now. Um we got resources. There is like one more that I feel like we need that's like similar to the resources, but not exactly. Um, I might have to, friend, if you're available, I'm gonna call you after this, and then I can talk to you about it. Cause there's one more thing, y'all. Oh, wait. I'm gonna say this on live just to see, like, to like take the temperature. But we could talk about it too. Okay, all right, cool. All right, y'all. So I feel like we should have a spirit week. I feel like we should have a spirit week. And I feel like there should be like an element to it where it's inside the community, but it could also be public. Yeah, like a high school spirit week.
I just need y'all to know that a content series is going to be a part of Spirit Week. There's a lot of y'all struggling with creating some series. So that was on my list of challenges because we're going to have some content challenges over here in this content group. We don't
Really?
step outside of ourselves. And some of us just be stuck in the style of content we do. So why don't we get comfortable with doing it with our friends in our group and maybe
That would be so cool.
authentic content outside of what we already do or what we're comfortable with together?
What if we make it like a mashup? Like, cause I feel like the element that I wanted to have is I wanted to have something like style wise, like, clothes
Ooh,
wise, color wise, just
you got to
like
make
in
it
the
cold.
spirit of Spirit Week.
Yeah, you
So like
got
maybe that could be a part of like the challenge, like it can be like we could think about like um what each day could be.
I'm
But
down.
I feel like a Spirit Week would be so
But you know
fun.
how I was gonna feel about that because of just our last conversation before I left. Like
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm gonna say this one on live because I feel like,
homecoming. That's what we call it.
yeah, listen, and that's
Homecoming season.
fine, huh?
It's homecoming season. It's
Yeah,
homecoming.
I think that would be. I used to love me a Spirit Week.
I love this Spirit Week. I love putting together costumes ish like that. I've made a commitment to myself to try to get dressed. We clearly see that didn't work today. Um,
It's okay. We just got back from vacation.
I
Gotta
mean,
re-
there's a hurricane here, and I have 2 children in here.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot happening. It's a lot happening.
I'm having
Understand.
to cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner for my grandma. So like, we struggling over here. This is the setup right now. Like, this is the setup right now.
That's the office.
So, tell Sunday to hear it so my mama can come back. Yeah, but I
Oh
love
yeah, because
that.
they're gone now.
Yeah, my parents are in Canada, y'all. So I'm having to do everything my mom done would do here and what I need to do for myself. But I am in love with Spirit Week and I can't wait.
Okay. Okay. That makes me super excited. Y'all don't have to participate, but I feel like you should, and you're gonna feel sad if you don't. That's what I'm gonna say.
What are we brewing?
I don't know. Now we gotta cook something up because I couldn't shake that idea. I was like, Spirit Week has to happen. I missed it so much.
I got some
So
ideas. We gonna talk. I got some ideas.
okay. So we gonna talk. We gonna talk. Hold on. We gonna talk, and then we gonna tell y'all
And then
what we
y'all,
have said, and then y'all can let us know what y'all think.
Okay.
It should be the brand colors. I thought about brand colors, but y'all know mine is orange. So
we sticking with orange. Don't look. We are for trendsetters only. Okay. It is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
I'll.
Cause everything orange. You know.
If I could figure out how to get my hair orange, I would do it. Everything would be orange.
You want me to go orange next in lieu of you, friend?
Yeah, I want to find orange pom poms, orange everything. I feel like I got enough orange to just be like completely orange. But yeah, we can have an orange day. I don't know what else yet. I don't know what else. If y'all have ideas, y'all can tell us what y'all ideas are too. But I just think that it would be so dope.
Oh, okay. I got an idea, but let me write this down.
Okay.
These children.
What? You like orange too, Angel? I see. Well, I see is that your brand color? I see it's on your circle. I don't know.
But you know,
That's everything.
was the challenge of it all. Like, one, just trying to create something that, and showing your individuality at the same time within a parameter. Like, you know how like they would be like spirit, like not Spirit Day, but like 80s or 90s Day, and you would try not to dress like nobody else, so you was thinking
Yes.
outside.
Yes.
And then you show up as somebody that nobody knew.
Right. Like you went way too far. Way too
We're
far.
not overanalyzing this, y'all. We're not overthinking it. I promise y'all. This is gonna be fun, guys.
Yeah. I think that what helps me is like when it's not a competition.
Yeah.
Because I just like you're just here to do something with a group of people, like, and just have fun with it. Oh yeah, no, you definitely my kind of people, Angel. I love
First apartment was all orange. Perfect.
I love it. Hey Leon, we talking about our Spirit Week. If we had merch, man, that would be so freaking fire. It's okay. One day.
It's coming,
But-
friend. It's
yeah.
coming. It's coming. It's coming. I'm excited though. I'm excited for what we have coming. I'm excited for where everybody is. I'm watching everybody in the chat. I'm also looking at myself and just recognizing like where I am. As you were talking about storytelling today, like I'm hearing my own story come out your mouth. And you can go to hell again. Amen. Y'all gotta leave me like that. Like, mind your own business at some point. I said you're my mentor. Keep it as that. You don't have to keep on here telling your story and then minding my business at the same time. Like, damn. Let people live. But I'm excited for what's coming from this group. Like, to know that a couple months ago we were 5 members and we close to 40 now. Y'all, let's get it.
No, but for real though.
We close to 40. And it's not like 40 people who just in there. It's 40 people who are active, 40 people who engage, 40 people who are creative, 40 people who are dope as hell, 40 people who got businesses, 40 people who want to grow and support. Like,
Yes.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, it makes me smile every time. I saw Palm posted, I saw Kayla posted, I saw Angel posted. I was like,
That's crazy.
this is happening. This is a thing. As you were talking, I thought about another channel too.
What? What channel you thought about?
A travel channel. Let's see if I can is she in here?
Retreat?
See if I can draft Ashane.
Or Mona Lisa. If Mona Lisa's in there, Ashane or Mona Lisa. I don't know if Mona Lisa's in the group yet. But Mona Lisa is a travel agent. She would be. Ashane, because she didn't travel. We're not going to say it loud. So she can't be right.
I want to draft her. I want to told her to do it.
I told her.
I do. I just want to create the channel and then be like, oh, hey, here you go.
Oh, those are favorite questions.
Just raise your hand. If you feel like Ashane should be the travel channel leader.
The voluntold.
There you go, Palm. There you go.
Thank you, Paul. Don't even say. We're having a four-way call right
It's just gonna pop up one day, and then we're gonna be like, "Oh wow, Ashane, I didn't know you was gonna be doing this. This is amazing."
Just think next year we'll be all on a retreat together on an island making content, and Ashane will have the travel group, and we'll have all our travel plans in there, and like who's flying from what airport will be in there,
Period.
I need y'all to hear it out loud. Hear it out loud, because it's
That's all I'm
coming.
saying.
I just was testing out Cabo for the rest of us. Okay? It's a perfect place for content. Perfect place for content.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. Yeah, it's a thing now.
Oh, call me when you get done.
Alrighty. All right, y'all. It's growing. It's growing. But no, it's gonna happen. Ashane is gonna definitely be our travel channel leader. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get off of here for real. Y'all, the after party, you already know after parties in Telegram. We can keep the party going over there. I love y'all real bad. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Happy Friday, Junior, as Kayla calls it. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully y'all come up and y'all talk to me. And we're gonna have a good time. Okay. Bye, y'all.